Greenhouse 17 serves central Kentucky, so we serve Lexington and the 16 surrounding counties. Our primary focus is working with families who are experiencing intimate partner violence, working with families with whatever it is that they need that's a barrier to help them move from some sort of crisis to self-sufficiency.
We knew that they had moved from the inner city, but they now are in the area where there's horse farms, they have 40 acres. And we didn't know that Diane Fleet, the associate director, was starting to think about how can we use this land, how can we make it work for us as a shelter? Can they really bring in farm activities into a shelter where the goal is to help battered women basically recover, stabilize, and then move on with their lives? Is that the same thing? Is it different? Can it be integrated? So they were looking for someone to come out and talk to the workers there and see how they viewed it. So that's how Claire Anzetti and I got involved.
You gotta have a roof over people's head, and you gotta have food in their tummies, and you gotta have safety. I get that. But what is it that you can do already with the resources you have to amplify the services that women really need? So I think at that point, people started connecting the dots between what I'm doing, and I'm talking about people with stress, anxiety, physical ailments due to a traumatic experience, and oh, we have this farm and we have nature and we have these pieces. So it began to build. And now I think it's really changed our programming in entirety. Women are involved, clients take leadership roles, they make decisions about how the programming goes and what the product should be called and what are we going to produce. And so we started seeing more confidence being built in women in making decisions around their lives when they were allowed access to do those things.
I was really fascinated by the impact that this was having on women who have experienced horrible things in their lives and their children, and the fact that they were somehow recovering more quickly. And particularly for women who have substance use problems, it seemed that this was really helping them not only recover from the intimate partner violence, but also recover from their substance use problems.
In order to get women who are willing to commit to a 6-week program of the farming, to be able to say, well, if you go through 6 weeks of this, are you somehow reaping some benefits that women who go through the other aspects of the shelter are not? You typically need to provide some kind of incentive to get that consistency.
And so we looked for a good fit in terms of funding mechanisms, and the Office on Violence Against Women had a funding mechanism, and we applied, and they agreed with us that it was a good fit. In fact, they gave us more money than we asked for, which is unheard of. They recognized the value of the project. As we've learned more about therapeutic horticulture, we've learned that you can do this with container gardens. You can use rooftop gardens. You can use a front lawn, any community garden. So this has a tremendous potential impact for rural communities. But it also applies to suburban and urban communities as well, because you can do therapeutic horticulture in pretty much any setting.
Their joy, their inspiration, their encouragement of what we're doing has been extremely beneficial because, we're not sure if what we're doing makes sense. And to have somebody, like Claire and Diane go, oh no, this makes perfect sense. We're seeing this work done with veterans returning home. We're seeing this work done in, in medical facilities. We're seeing this work done in prisons. Like, this makes sense that people who've experienced long-term trauma can benefit from this work. As we talk anecdotally about what happens out at Greenhouse 17, but I think to have research behind it really gives us some leverage as we're competing for dollars. I'd like to figure out how to expand farm concept to our 16 surrounding counties.
Our mission is research. If you have been a victim of violence as a woman, we would like to know the best ways to help you get better, to help you heal. This certainly fits with that kind of research. But we're also into prevention. And if you think about it, these shelters are hoping to prevent future violence for the women. And if this therapeutic horticulture experience for them helps them change, grow, heal, do better with whatever resources that they have, then it definitely meets that mission.
That's not just the mission of the center, that's the mission of the University of Kentucky, to serve the Commonwealth and beyond. And so we're just doing what the university does.